Good morning. Today is Wednesday, January 13th. In 1 week, we will swear in a new president. I just had to throw that in because I'm counting the days now. This is the meeting of the Engrossment Rules, Resolution, and Credentials Committee meeting. It is called to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Alderman Vaccaro.
Present.
Alderwoman Green.
Present.
Alderman Todd. Alderwoman Evans. Alderwoman Grass.
Present.
Chairwoman Tyus.
Present.
4 present, you have quorum.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. We're not going to excuse any aldermen because I anticipate all aldermen will be here. 2 of our alder people are in another meeting presenting bills. And there was something, I had a question about the minutes, so I'm going to not do the minutes today and do 2 sets of minutes next week. And we're going to go straight into, let's see, we're going to go straight into enrollment. I called the comptroller's office about Board Bill 164 and the things that we had that were not filled in. I have not been able to get a response yet, so I'm still waiting for that. Let's see here. And also, I got this, the excise commissioner is coming back for, what is the other board bill? 166, I think it is. 166 AA. He's going to come next week to answer questions about the excise bill. So those are the 2 that we're going to move over to next week or whenever we can get answers. The next board bill that we have to address, and we're doing enrollment now, is Board Bill 76. And so, Alderwoman Grass,
Yes.
do you want to do it again?
Sure.
Do you mind?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
And all right, great. Okay. And so Board Bill 164 as amended. I'm sorry, Board Bill 76. Introduced by Alderman Joseph Vollmer. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for the 2732 59th Street redevelopment area. This board bill will allow a 5-year tax abatement at 50%. Construction of 2 attached town homes will occur. We are doing enrollment, not engrossment.
I got it.
Okay. And so all we do with enrollment is that with the enrollment, we do a motion to enroll the board bill and pass it out with a due pass recommendation. Okay, we're on the same page?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are there any problems with Board Bill 76? Alderwoman Green?
I do not see any problems.
Alderman Vaccaro?
No problem.
Alderman Grass?
There's no problem.
I see no problems.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion that we enroll Board Bill 76 and pass it out with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
I make the motion to enroll Board Bill 76 with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
We don't have a previous roll.
No, we
Madam
don't.
Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Alderman Vaccaro.
Aye.
Alderwoman Green.
Aye.
Alderman Todd. Alderwoman Evans. Alderwoman Grass.
Aye.
Chairwoman Tyus.
Aye.
4 aye votes.
By your vote, we've enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation, Board Bill 76. The next board bill we have is Board Bill 79, introduced by Alderman Jesse Todd. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for 528 North Newstead Avenue redevelopment area. This board bill will allow 5 years of tax abatement based on 50% of the assessed value of the incremental improvements. And I can't read the rest because it is whited out, but that's enough. And so, do you have any problems with Board Bill 76, Alderwoman Green, I'm sorry. Wake up this morning.
No, it looks fine.
And did I say 76, but it's 79 in case I said the wrong one. 79. No. Alderman Vaccaro, you have any problems with Board Bill 79?
No, I do not.
Alderman Grass, any problems with Board Bill 79?
No, I do not.
And I don't have any problems. As there are no problems, I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill 79 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
I'll make the motion to enroll Board Bill 79 and pass out with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
Mr. Vaccaro, you previous role today.
Oh, okay, previous role. I'm sorry.
Alderman.
We had it all set up. No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. We have a motion that Board Bill 79 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation. We have a second. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, by your vote, Board Bill 79 is enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation. Okay. The next board bill we have is Board Bill 108, introduced by Alderman John Collins Muhammad. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and a blighting study for 5337 Von Poole Street redevelopment area. This board bill will allow a 10-year tax abatement at 90%. Alderwoman Green,
Looks
any
good.
problems?
Looks good to me.
Alderman Vaccaro,
I have no problem.
Alderman Grass,
I have no problem.
and I have no problems. So I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill 108 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
I'll make the motion to enroll Board Bill 108 to pass out Board Bill 108 with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
We need a second.
Yeah, I was looking for the first one to do the second.
Sorry.
I'm previous role.
Okay,
I'll do the second and previous role on this one.
But I think we all must have taken medicine or something this morning. Only Alderwoman Grass, you're the only one that's got it going on this morning.
Yeah.
We're all like, huh? Okay, so we had a second. Who did the second? Alderwoman Green? Did you do
Yeah.
a second?
I did the second.
Okay, and Alderman Vaccaro, you did a previous role. Okay, so we have a motion and a second to enroll Board Bill 108 and pass it out with a due pass recommendation. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 108 is enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation. Our next board bill is Board Bill 109, introduced by Alderman Joseph Vollmer. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for the 5520 Daggett Avenue redevelopment area. This board bill will allow a 5-year tax abatement at 50%. Alderwoman Green, you have any problems with Board Bill 109?
Nope, it looks fine to me.
Alderman Vaccaro,
No problem.
Alderman Grass.
No problems.
Okay, and I have no problem. Okay, I'd entertain a motion that we enroll Board Bill 109 and pass it out with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
I'll make the motion to enroll Board Bill 109 and pass out with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Trustees. Alderman.
Okay, she does.
6 years. You know?
See, you wanted to be here with the group of people that wasn't quite here today.
I think I did. So there I am.
Okay,
Wow.
Second.
we need a second. Okay, got a second from Alderwoman Green.
And I'm previous role.
Okay, we have a motion and a second that Board Bill 109 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, by your vote, you've enrolled Board Bill 109 and passed out with a due pass recommendation. The next board bill we have is Board Bill 110, introduced by Alderman Joseph Vollmer. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for the 5509 Magnolia Avenue redevelopment area. This board bill will allow a 5-year tax abatement at 50%.
Looks fine to me.
Alderwoman Green, okay. Alderman Vaccaro, any problems with Board Bill 110?
No problem.
Alderman Grass, any problems?
No problems.
I have no problems. I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill 110 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation.
I'll make the motion to pass out Board Bill 110 with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
Previous roll.
We have a motion and a second that Board Bill 110 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the Board of Aldermen. We have a call for previous roll. Is there any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 110 is enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation. The next board bill we have is Board Bill number 116, introduced by Alderwoman Kara Spencer. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for the 3712 and 3716 Nebraska Avenue and 3717, 3719, 3728, 3729, and 3730 Oregon Avenue redevelopment area. This board bill will allow for a 10-year tax abatement at 95% and construction of 4 single-family homes. Alderwoman Green, any problems with Board Bill 116?
No, it looks fine to me.
I have
Alderman
no problem.
Vaccaro?
No problem.
Alderman Grass?
No problem.
I also don't have any problems. I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill 116 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
I make a motion that Board Bill 116 be passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
Previous roll.
We have a motion and a second that Board Bill 116 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 116 is enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board. The next board bill we have is Board Bill 125, introduced by Alderman Joseph Vollmer. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for the 4914 Draggett Avenue redevelopment area. This board bill will allow a 10-year abatement at 95%. Alderwoman Green, any problems with Board Bill 125?
Nope.
Alderman Vaccaro, any problems with Board Bill 125? Alderman Grass, any problems with Board Bill 125?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and I have no problems. I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill 125 be enrolled and passed out with the due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
I'll make the motion to pass out Board Bill 125 with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
Previous roll.
We have a motion and a second that Board Bill 125 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 125 is enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board. The next board bill we have is 128, introduced by Alderwoman Shameen Park Hubbard. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for 5266 Maple Avenue redevelopment area. This board bill will allow up to a 10-year tax abatement based on 95% of the assessed value of the incremental improvements. Let's see. This area includes, I'm going to see, I don't know what else this says here. Got to look at the board bill. This area includes an unoccupied residential property which will be renovated and sold. Okay, Alderwoman Green, any problems with Board Bill 128?
Nope.
Alderman Vaccaro, any problems with Board Bill 128?
No problem.
Alderman Grass, any problems with Board Bill 128?
No, I have no problems, but I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there, okay, so I've been looking at all the bills as we're doing them, and I'm primarily looking at the tax abatements and all of that stuff based on the school board meeting from last night. I mean, that's where my focus is right now. So I don't see one of those fiscal studies on this bill, and I'm assuming that there's a reason that there
Oh,
isn't.
no.
Oh, there should
No, that's a good catch. Okay, let's look. It should be one.
Well, it's not the typical fiscal study that I am hoping to see. So I'm not sure that I'm correct that there isn't one.
You're correct, and you're also always correct to ask questions.
Well, I'm learning to lose my nervousness.
Well, good. You'll be a great alderman or alderwoman, either one. Okay. So I'm seeing everything else is here. Wait a minute here.
Oh, no,
What?
the last page.
I thought I saw one, but you read so many of these. Yes, it is. There's one. The very last page.
Okay, so it's different though than than most of the other ones that we see.
So they don't have to be exactly the same. Okay. It has to be a fiscal
Okay.
note. I'm just going over what happened. So depending on who makes them, you get something a little different. That's why we also have people sign their name, put their name, not sign it, but there's a name of who prepared the fiscal note. So they are sometimes a little different.
Okay, thank you for the explanation.
Okay, but that's still a great question. But I thought I had seen it. I was like, wow. Okay, so now that we found that there is a fiscal note, there any other problems with Board Bill 128?
No.
Okay, and I don't have any problems. And I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill number 128 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
I make the motion to enroll Board Bill 128 and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
The previous roll.
I have a motion and a second that Board Bill 128 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 128 is enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation. Okay. The next thing we have is Board Bill 130, introduced by Alderwoman Kara Spencer. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for the 3620 Texas Avenue redevelopment area. This project is the construction of 12 apartments. This board bill will allow a 10-year tax abatement at 95%. Alderwoman Green, any problems with Board Bill 130?
Nope, it looks good.
Alderman Vaccaro, any problems with 130?
No problem.
Alderman Grass, any problems with 130?
No problems, but I'm back to the question.
Okay,
So,
let me just stop you right now. I love people to ask questions. I wish everybody in the Board of Aldermen would ask more questions. So never, ever apologize to me. I am rooting that you are asking questions. Whatever you ask, that's good. That's good for all of us, okay?
okay. On Board Bill 130, there is the same fiscal note that was on Board Bill 129, but there is an additional page that actually shows the cost savings to the departments that are involved in the tax abatement. So I can
Okay,
actually go on here and see what is which is not being given to the school district or the zoo and the museum and the botanical garden and all of that. I can actually see those
Okay.
numbers. And I'm just curious as to why it's not consistent, I guess.
Okay, I thought it was before the fiscal. I thought I saw that. I have to go back and look. I thought it was before the fiscal note in the previous bill. Let me look and
And maybe
see.
it was, and you know, and I kind of flew by it because I always expect it to be the last page, so that's my bad.
No, no, no.
I'll go back and look also.
No, that maybe have been the sustainability impact. So I'm looking, so it may not have been that. Let me see here. I don't see it either. I think you're right. You're right. And we want that.
We do, or I do, but I don't want to hold anything up either.
It doesn't have to, well, let's see who did this, who did the two studies. Let's see why they're different. Zach Wilson did this one, and somebody else did the other one. But I agree with you. We should have especially with what's going on with our schools, everything should have the fiscal impact of tax abatement of the affected taxing jurisdiction. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask them for that. We're going to finish. We already enrolled it, but I'm not going to sign it until they give us the estimated fiscal impact of the tax abatements for the jurisdiction. How is that for you?
That's awesome. And if you would just forward that on to me, you can go. I mean, I just want to know the numbers.
No, you should. And
Okay.
like I said, I will forward it to the whole committee when they get it.
Okay, awesome.
Madam Clerk, no problem. Madam Clerk, can you make a note that we need to get that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. questions? Alderman Grass?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so what we're going to do, Board Bill 130 has it, but what we decided to do is for Board Bill 128, I'm not going to sign it until we get the required fiscal impact to the taxing jurisdictions, but we had already enrolled it, so we're not going to reconsider and not enroll it. We're just going to make sure that they send that over to us before I sign it. Okay, so Board Bill 130, no one has any problems. I don't have any problems. And so I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill 130 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
I'll make the motion to enroll Board Bill 130 and pass it out with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
Previous roll.
We have a motion and a second that Board Bill 130 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 130 is enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board. Now we have Board Bill 131, introduced by Alderman Dan Gunther. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for the 3170 through 3172 Oregon Avenue redevelopment area. This project is the renovation of an unoccupied 4-family building. The board bill will allow a 5-year tax abatement at 50%. Now I'm going to check with Alderman Grass, since she's doing such a good job, to make sure we have what we need also.
It's there.
Okay, well, I take your word.
I'm looking at it.
Alderwoman Green, anything, you have any problems with Board Bill 131?
Nope.
Alderman Vaccaro, any problems with Board Bill 131?
No problem.
Alderman Grass,
No problem.
you are a wonderful addition. No problems?
No problems.
And I don't have any problems. So I entertain a motion that Board Bill 131 be engrossed and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
I make the motion to enroll Board Bill 131 and pass it out with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
Previous roll.
We have a motion and a second that Board Bill 131 be engrossed and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board. Have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 131 is enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board. The next board bill we have is Board Bill 137, introduced by Alderwoman Kara Spencer. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for 4021 Iowa Avenue redevelopment area. This project is the renovation of an unoccupied school building for 25 apartments. This board bill will allow a 10-year tax abatement at 95%. Alderwoman Green, do you have any problems with Board Bill 137?
Hold on one second.
Okay,
My computer's slow and bringing it up at the moment.
that's okay.
Okay, there we go. Nope, it looks good to me.
Alderman Vaccaro, any problems with Board Bill 137?
I have no problem, but I'm gonna have to step out for a few minutes but I see Jesse Todd's back. But I have no problem.
We can just do-
fine with previous roll, although Jesse's back.
Okay. And Alderman Todd, you just stepped in. We are on Board Bill 137.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Madam Chair. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes if you want to look at it. I'll go to Alderwoman Grass about if she has any problems with Board Bill 137.
I don't have any problems with Board Bill 137. Alderman Evans is back. Is she here too?
Yes. Yes. Okay, so we saw they had an impact statement, but it was different than the other one. Did
Correct.
you see that?
I did.
Right. And I'm going to ask them why they're doing them different like that. Some of them are charts, and I think I like the just a printed out version better than the chart. So I'm going to see why they're doing
I
it.
do too, actually.
Okay, right. So I'm going to see if we can just get it printed out, but they do have one. Good morning, Alderwoman Evans. I saw you and then you go. Okay, she left for a minute, I guess. Okay, so Alderman Todd, did you have a chance to look at Board Bill 137? And if you did, do you have any problems with it?
No, I do not, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Alderwoman Evans? Okay, she's still not here. So I entertain a motion that Board Bill 131 be enrolled. I'm sorry, enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
I make a motion to enroll Board Bill 142.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. It was we're on 137, right?
Oh, yes, we
Yes.
are. Sorry.
Okay.
I make the motion.
137.
I make the motion to enroll Board Bill 137 and pass out with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Okay. Okay, we have we have a motion and a second. We can't do previous roll because we have a new alderperson here. So we have to, Madam Clerk, we have to call the roll, please.
Alderman Vaccaro. Alderwoman Green.
Aye. Sorry.
Alderman Todd.
Aye.
Alderwoman Evans. Alderwoman Grass.
Aye.
Chairwoman Tyus.
Aye.
Alderman Vaccaro. Alderwoman Evans. 4 aye votes.
By your vote, you sustain the motion to engross and pass out with a due pass recommendation to the full board, Board Bill 137. The next board bill we have is Board Bill 142, introduced by Alderwoman Carol Howard. This board bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for 4320-4330, 4350, and 4350R South Kings Highway Boulevard redevelopment area. This board bill will allow up to 20 years of tax abatement, provided as follows: 15 years of tax abatement, and I have to read it. Let's see here. Six, 15 years of tax abatement based on 95% of the assessed value of the incremental improvements, followed by 5 years of tax abatement based on 90% of the assessed value of the incremental improvements. This area includes unoccupied property, which will be redeveloped for mixed use. Alderwoman Green.
Looks good.
I think it's missing the impact statement, so I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
Okay. Alderman Todd, any problems with Board Bill 142?
No, I don't have any problem, Madam Chair.
And Alderwoman Grass, did you not see the impact statement either?
I did not, and I don't have a problem with the bill, but I would like the impact statement to be there for the full board before it gets there.
This is a pretty big one. I don't mind little ones that we can kind of get afterwards, but this is big. I think we need to hold this and make them get this over to us, okay?
Could it be
and
that
we'll get this. Go ahead.
Could it be that it was just left off and maybe somebody can call Matt Bauer and see if it's there and he can just forward it to us now? We can hold off.
Sure, we could try that, okay? But if not, I'm not comfortable in passing this out. Madam Clerk, we're going to finish with our enrollment calendar, except for this one. And then if you could call over about both, since we're going to call over about one, we'll take about a 2 or 3 minute break, a 5 minute break, and see if you can get Matt and see if he could get that to us.
Madam Chair, Matt Bauer is in the meeting as an attendee. I can allow him to talk if you wish.
Who am I? Hello?
Hello?
That was
Who was that?
STLTV.
Hi, this is STLTV. I was just noting that Matt
Okay.
is in the meeting as an attendee, if you'd like me to allow him to talk.
Yes, please. Okay, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. We don't have any picture of you, though. Any video.
No, that's fine. So I just sent the whole committee an email. So as previously, the procedure had been for projects under $1 million. Every project gets a fiscal note, but the projects under $1 million get the fiscal impact table. And then projects over $1 million, where we've run the model, gets the model scorecard dashboard. But we do have that fiscal impact table. So going forward, for these, we can provide the fiscal impact statement as well as the model for those projects that were modeled. So
since you have it for this one, can't you provide it to us? Can't you send it over to us?
I'll have to get with Zach. If you want to give me a list, I can get those and send them over.
Okay, the clerk is making a list. We have 2 requests right now. I think it is this one, and then Board Bill.
I think I got 128. I did have that.
Yes, 128, and then this Board Bill, which is 142.
Okay.
And we would like them included. The school board made a very good point about the stuff that we do that affects them. And so we should have that before us as we're making our decision. And since we're having that discussion, why is it sometimes we get the chart, and other times we get a table? So
that's what I said. The projects that we did over $1 million, where we produce where we do the full fiscal analysis, we provide the scorecard dashboard. We do have the table. It just it's not provided, but we'll attach that going forward. For the projects under $1 million, where we don't do the full fiscal analysis, we have the table and it's provided already. So going forward, everything will have the table, and the ones that are over $1 million will have the model.
And what do you mean by that you don't do the full fiscal analysis?
For projects under $1 million, we don't run the full fiscal analysis model. Usually those are like single family homes and things like that, or small projects.
So what don't you include? That's what I'm trying to understand.
What do you mean what don't we include?
You said you don't run the full model. Is there something that is excluded when you don't run a full model?
No, we have it. It just isn't. We have the fiscal impact table. It's just not attached to the bill.
And that's not attached.
But but going forward, we'll attach both.
Okay, that'll be great. Okay, but we want them. If any of the other ones don't have it here, we're going to ask for those also. Okay. Alderman Evans.
Do you need them during the?
No, we can. We will. No, if you assure me that you're going to give it to me, I'm going to. 142 is very big. No, what I'll do, we're going to go ahead and enroll this one also, but I'm not going to sign anything without everything the committee having it before. So the sooner you get it to us, the sooner I can make a decision if I'm going to sign it or hold it.
Sure. I mean, I'll work on I've got 128 and 142. If there's any others, just let me know, and Zach and I will pull those together and email those to you as soon as possible.
Okay, and probably Alderman Grass.
Yeah, today, to either later today or tomorrow.
That'll be great. Alderman Grass, did you have any questions of him since he's here?
No, I don't, but thank you very much for doing that.
Okay, Alderman.
They're attached all the time.
Alderwoman Green, do you have any questions of Matt since he's here?
Nope.
Alderman Todd, any questions of Matt since he's here?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Okay. Did we ever get Alderwoman Evans back? Alderman Vaccaro, are you back? Okay, since we are assured that we're going to get it, I would be comfortable to enroll this piece of legislation, but I will not sign it without the required attachments. And I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill 142 be enrolled with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
I'll make the motion to enroll Board Bill 142 and pass out with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
Second.
Previous roll.
We have a motion and a second that Board Bill 142 be enrolled with a due pass recommendation. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 142 is enrolled, but there is the caveat that we have to have the attachments we had required, and I will get them to the full board as soon as I get them. I'm sorry, to the full committee as soon as I get them, and I will not sign off until the full committee is comfortable and had time to read over that. The next board bill is 147, introduced by Alderman Jesse Todd. This proposed board bill will permanently close, barricade, or otherwise impede the flow of traffic on Vernon Avenue by blocking said traffic flow at the west curb line of North Kings Highway Boulevard at the intersection of the Vernon Avenue and North Kings Highway Boulevard. Alderwoman Green, do you have any problems with Board Bill 147?
Nope, looks fine.
Alderman Todd, any problems with Board Bill 147?
I know it looks good to me, Madam Chair.
Alderman Grass, any problems with Board Bill 147?
No problems.
And I don't have any problems, so I entertain a motion that Board Bill 147. Alderwoman Evans just popped in. Hello there. How are you today? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Okay,
Now,
I
yes,
am
we can.
so sorry. I've been popping in and out of 2 different meetings this morning. And I understand, is Jesse Todd on this one as well?
Yes.
They were calling for him back in the HUD's meeting because they missed 195 of his bill. So I'm
Okay, I think he just left.
He just left.
Okay.
I'm here to
Okay,
stay.
so, all right. So we had a motion. Did we get a motion yet, Madam Clerk?
No, ma'am, you were just going around asking for questions.
Oh, okay. Did anybody have a problem? So, Alderwoman Evans, we're on board Bill 147, which is a bill to close a street, and introduced by Jesse Todd, and he would be closing the flow of traffic at Vernon Avenue and North Kings Highway. And I want to know if you had any problems with that bill?
No, no problems.
Oh. Okay. Here,
Madam Chair,
yes.
I'm gonna have to move back to the committee. They want me to talk on my bill again.
Yes, sir. We're fine. We're gonna have to do roll call because Alderwoman Evans is here anyway. So, do you want to wait for us to do this one so you'll be on, or do you just have to leave right now? If you have to leave right now, we're fine.
I have to leave right now because they're talking about a
That's
bill.
fine.
Okay, then.
That's fine. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. All right. So I don't have any problems with Board Bill 147, and I'd entertain a motion that we enroll Board Bill 147 and with the due pass recommendation to the full board.
I'll make the motion to enroll Board Bill 147 with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
And
You're back on previous road duty.
No, I wouldn't.
No, you can't do previous road because you're here in Evans, okay?
Yeah,
we cannot do, right. We can't do previous road because we have 2 new people back on board. There's been a motion and second to enroll Board Bill 147 with the due pass recommendation. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Alderman Vaccaro?
Aye.
Alderwoman
Yes.
Green?
Aye.
Alderman Todd? Alderwoman Evans?
Aye.
Alderwoman Grass?
Aye.
Chairwoman Tyus?
Aye.
5 aye votes.
By your vote, we've been enrolled and passed out with the due pass recommendation, Board Bill 147 to the full board. The next board bill we have is Board Bill 149, introduced by Alderman Brett Narayan, and prohibits commercial. This board bill will extend the prohibition on commercial vehicles in Ordinance 71111, which prohibits such traffic along West Park Avenue from the eastern boundaries of Hampton Avenue to the eastern boundaries of Hughes Place to include commercial vehicle traffic along Hughes Place. That's Board Bill 149.
Looks fine to me.
It doesn't have the board bill that it changes attached. So I would like to see Ordinance 711 attached, but it doesn't stop us from getting it done, Madam Clerk.
But you're requesting ordinance number 711.
Yeah, that is attached.
Oh, I didn't see it. It's on 149, 171 is attached?
Yes, if
Or
you
maybe
go,
it's,
let's see.
yes, it is. It's a very short, yes, it is. Okay, so it starts out very short. I'm sorry, that's long. It's the bill is only 2 pages long, and then there is an attachment of 711. So sorry. In fact, the attachment is longer than the bill. Okay. Let me get back to where I am. I'm going to get me a bigger screen, get off of this so I can do split screen. Alderman Vaccaro, do you have any problems with Board Bill 149?
I do not have any.
Alderwoman Evans, any problems with Board Bill 149?
I have none.
Alderman Grass, any problems with Board Bill 149?
No, I don't.
I have no problems. Being as there are no problems, I'd entertain a motion that Board Bill 149 be engrossed and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board.
I'll make a motion to enroll Board Bill 149 and pass out with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
I'll start by introducing you to the people that are in.
Alderman Vaccaro, we can do a previous roll.
Okay, okay, previous roll.
Okay, we have a motion and a second that Board Bill 149 be enrolled and passed out with a due pass recommendation to the full board. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, we have enrolled and passed out Board Bill 149 with a due pass recommendation. All right. The next board bill we have is Board Bill 156, introduced by Alderman Dan Gunther. It's an ordinance recommended by the Board of Public Service to conditionally vacate above surface.
No, you didn't do nothing wrong. I'm calling to congratulate you.
I'm hearing somebody else someplace. Okay, okay. It's an Board Bill 156, introduced by Alderman Dan Gunther. It's an ordinance recommended by the Board of Public Service to conditionally vacate above surface and subsurface rights for vehicle, equestrian, and pedestrian travel in Lucia from 2nd eastwardly 167.50 feet to terminus, and the remaining 115-foot section of the 15-foot cut off. Let's see, what else is it? 156. Of the 15-foot wide north-south alley in City Block 769, as bounded by St. George, DeKalb, vacated Luisa and second. The petition is Electro Properties LLC. The vacated area will be used to consolidate property for industrial expansion.
It looks fine to me.
Okay, they have the petition for the vacation and signed. Alderman Vaccaro, you have any problems with Board Bill 156?
Not at all.
Alderwoman Evans, you have any problems with Board Bill 156?
No problems.
Alderman Grass, any problems with Board Bill 156?
No, I don't.
I don't have any problem. I'd entertain a motion that we will enroll and pass out with a due pass recommendation, Board Bill 156 to the full board.
I'll make the motion to enroll Board Bill 156 with a due pass recommendation to the full Board of Aldermen.
Second.
Previous roll.
I have a motion and a second that we enroll Board Bill 156 with a due pass recommendation to the full board. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 156 is enrolled. The Excise Commissioner is going to come talk to us about Board Bill 166 next week. So we go to engrossment now. We have 3 board bills for engrossment. Alderwoman Heather Navarro, Board Bill 162, Committee Substitute, introduced by Alderwoman Heather Navarro, Alderman Dan Gunther, Alderwoman Annie Rice, Alderwoman Christine Ingrassia, Alderwoman Beth Murphy, Alderman Jesse Todd, and Alderman Brett Narayan. It's an ordinance pertaining to electric vehicle charging stations, amending ordinance number 70794 which adopted the 2018 International Building Code as amended and codifying said changes in Chapter 25 of the revised code of the City of St. Louis and containing a severability clause, savings clause, and an effective date. So I have a question about this. So we don't have Ordinance 70794 attached, and I don't know if that's something that's very large is why we don't have it attached, or that we don't. Do you know that answer, Madam Clerk?
Let me check the drive now.
Okay, because if it's a really large one, then we'll just refer to it.
If you don't, I can tell you it was in my committee, and it's part of the electrical code, which is like a book. So I think that's
what I think. I just wanted to check to make sure. That's exactly what I thought. I didn't have a time to see for myself, and she could just look and see, I think.
Oh yeah, just because I know it was because it was in my committee. It's part of the electrical code, which is it's a book.
Okay. Are you having problems, Madam Clerk?
I'm checking to see. I don't see this ordinance number.
You don't see ordinance 70794?
Not in this board bill.
Well, the alderman just said it was a very large. I know it's not in the board bill. I was checking to see. I was asking you to check to see if it was a large thing that would not be attached. So probably, he said it was the electrical code. So that's probably why it's not attached, because those tend to be very large.
Okay, so I'll have to go to see what board bill is. Go to a different website. Give me just a second.
Okay, and then the same thing with 70795. They're both not attached, so we can check at the same time.
Let me go to the city's website and see.
Okay.
And 97 in Board Bill 181.
No, it is attached.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
While we're waiting, so I understand Sumner got a reprieve, Alderwoman Evans.
Yes, as well as Hickey.
Okay, so that's a pretty good, right?
Yeah, I know you were on that Sumner thing. Well, and they're saying that it's temporary, but we still need to keep fighting, because there's some other schools that we want all of them open, you know.
I agree. And so what I've been doing over the Christmas holiday, do you have a response, Alderwoman?
Yes,
I mean, Madam Clerk? See, I gave you a raise.
It's 131 pages.
Wow.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so we won't attach that one. And what about 795? Is that also the same thing? While she's looking at, so what I did is I pulled all the I pulled the Liddell v. Board of Education all holiday. I've been reading all of that because I'm still going to reply to the board and to the superintendent, just because you took a vote to close it, you can take a vote to not close it. Okay.
Right.
Right.
I'm sorry, so 7097, that's 128 pages, and the 795 was 133.
They're all part of the electrical code.
Okay, but I thought she had part of 9.7 attached. Okay. Let me see here. Now I'm crazy because I thought I saw it.
One was more to deal with residential. The other was more to deal with commercial. And I think.
Okay, but I thought on the last one that she had it attached. That's what I'm saying. I could have sworn I saw it. Boy.
That's my recollection. Can hardly go by because my recollection's not like it used to be. But,
oh no, you got it. No, but I just thought that I saw in 181. I thought I saw attachment. Let's see, section 107. Yeah, because this one, the last one has like 140 pages. So I'm sure some of this is attached. Yes. So the first 7 pages is the actual board bill. And this is Board Bill 181. Then they actually attach Ordinance 70797. So that one is attached.
Okay. So which ones did you want me to check? I checked.
The other 2 that you just talked about. But what I was going to say, I don't want the paper, but maybe we can make a note that we see if we can somehow, and I don't know how if we can do this, and I'll talk to the registrar. She likes that we have them attached. When people come in to look for stuff, when it's attached to it, then they don't have to try to look all around for everything. So maybe we can get away put a note that the registrar can scan it with it, but we not, print all that paper up and do all of that. Or can we attach it digitally when we send it to the registrar? Is that a thing that we could do?
Yes, ma'am.
Or do we have to do it paper?
I can send a copy of the reference ordinance.
Okay, because the third ordinance, Board Bill number 181, she has all that attached. But the other 2, she does it. And I wasn't going to do it, but if you could send a reference to it, that would be good. So that if people, and why I'm so passionate about that happening is I often go look for things, and if it's not attached, sometimes you find it, sometimes you don't. And I've had several conversations with the registrar, and she expressed how she liked that we were doing that because that made it much easier for her and for people who come to look up board bills and ordinances from the past with everything attached. So if we can just do it that way, we'll be fine. And let's get back to engrossment. So Board Bill 162, Alderwoman Green, do you have any problems with it?
Wait, 162? Or
Committee substitute. Yes.
Sorry, my computer's frozen. Skip me for the moment.
Okay.
Not opening.
I will say what I have a problem with is if you look at page 6, line 4, there needs to be a space between the table and section 4. Everything is kind of bunched up. You see it, Madam Clerk?
You said what page? I'm sorry, page 6?
Page 6.
Line 4.
Line 4. So it starts, I think, a new section or paragraph, and it's right up on the table. So there's no spacing between it.
Okay.
Alderman McCall, you have any problems with Board Bill 162 committee substitute?
I don't. I see that more of a Scribner thing too, where they can just, they should just put the space. But
oh yeah, Oh, yeah.
I don't see there's a problem with the bill.
It's not. This is formatting. Alderwoman Evans, any problems?
No problems.
Alderman Grass, any problems?
No problems.
Okay, back to Alderwoman Green.
No problems.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion that we engross Board Bill 162, committee substitute, with the correction.
I'll make a motion to engross Board Bill 162 as amended with corrections.
Second.
Previous roll.
I'm sorry.
We
that
have a
was-
motion.
I'm sorry.
Go
That
ahead.
was committee sub. Alderwoman said as amended.
Yeah, she said as amended.
No, it's a committee
She
sub.
said committee subs and
Oh,
with
so I don't have to-
corrections. I thought she said.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, we have a motion that Board Bill 162 committee substitute be engrossed with the corrections. We have a second. Call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 162 is engrossed. The next board bill we have is 163, committee substitute introduced by Alderwoman Heather Navarro, Alderman Dan Gunther, Alderwoman Annie Rice, Alderwoman Christine Ingrassia, Alderwoman Beth Murphy, Alderman Jesse Todd, and Alderman Brett Narayan. It's an ordinance pertaining to electric vehicles charging stations, amending Ordinance 70795, which adopted the 2018 International Residential Code as amended and codifying said changes in Chapter 25 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis and containing a severability clause, saving clause, and an effective clause.
Good to me.
Okay. Alderman Vaccaro, any problems
No, not
with
at
Board Bill
all.
163?
Yeah, no problem.
Alderwoman Evans, any problems with Board Bill 163 committee substitute?
No problems.
Alderman Grass, any problems with Board Bill 163 committee substitute?
No, I don't, but I would like to say something. I looked for the fiscal impact statements on all three of these bills that are up for engrossment. And there is no table and there is no dashboard with the chart, but it's okay. I think it's okay. And again, I'm new because there's zero impact on the fiscal note that is there. So there wouldn't be any need for a table or a dashboard, I'm assuming. So just
Right.
wanted you to know I am aware, and I just wanted to clarify that. So thank you.
And what I want you to know again is how much I love that you ask questions, and we learn things from you every day. And it's a value to have people that do that. I would never. If it's something I'm doing wrong, I need that. That's how you grow, and that's how you learn things. So
Well,
I just want you not to.
I wish you would all come over to my house for like 12 hours and just hang out so I can ask all the questions that I have.
But I do appreciate you doing that. That's how you learn. At one point or another, all of us were new, okay? My newness just was many years ago, but we all been new. And the sooner you jump in and start asking questions and chart and finding out things, the better you will learn. So I think that's great that you do that. I don't have a problem because I've been doing that since I first got here. One of my first things I did back in 1991, I asked a question about a bill that was for putting prostitutes in jail. And I challenged a senior alderperson, which was Marty Abusi on the floor. And another senior alderperson said, we got a good one here. And that was Dan McGuire because we were under a court mandate to not fill up the workhouse. We didn't have the Justice Center then. But yet we were passing a law to put prostitutes, not the Johns, in jail. We ended up not doing it. And actually, I had some support from senior alder people, but I didn't know that maybe I was stepping out of my boundaries, okay? I just knew that I didn't think that was a good idea when we were under a federal court order to pass a law to lock up prostitutes and not Johns. And at the same time, we were every night letting people out of the workhouse, literally at night, because Judge Cahill had us under federal order. So I was encouraged by senior alderpersons then, especially Dan McGuire. I want to give him a shout out in the 28th Ward. He sat behind me and where I sit right now to this day, and he would always encourage me to ask questions. And so with Geraldine Osborne of the 15th Ward. So I'm now a senior alderperson, and I will always encourage new people to ask questions. And just want to say that I appreciate that now that I've been here for a long time, that they did stand up for me and tell me to ask as many questions as I needed to. So anyway, 163 committee substitute, we're going to put a notation, Madam Clerk, about ordinance 70795 as we did with the previous one. Okay, so we can have it attached, but we don't have to put all that paper. And then I'd entertain a motion that we engross Board Bill 163 committee substitute with the notation to attach the amending ordinance digitally.
I'll make a motion to engross Board Bill 163 committee substitute with the notation to
You can just say with the recommendations, okay? Right. That's good.
I second.
Previous roll.
Okay. We have a motion and a second that Board Bill 163 be engrossed. We have and that we attach the previous amending the ordinance that's been amended. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 163 is engrossed, and we're going to add the amendment that was amended. I'm sorry, the ordinance that was amended in a digital way without having to print out all that paper. The last thing we have is Board Bill 181, introduced by Alderwoman Heather Navarro, Alderman Dan Gunther, an ordinance pertaining to electric vehicles, charging stations, amending ordinance 70797, which is attached, which adopted the 2018 International Existing Building Code as amended and codifying said changes in Chapter 25 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis and containing a severability clause, saving clause, and an effective date. I want to say I had problems with this one. I thought the formatting throughout the whole thing was off. And I just wanted you to look at that throughout it. It seemed like there was in and out. And I'll give you an example. If you look at page 3 of 5, line 11 just kind of juts out. And I see that throughout the document. It's like something didn't get formatted correctly, or you see that?
Yes.
So that's just my little 2 cents. Alderwoman Green?
I think that's all I see.
Alderman Vaccaro?
I'm sorry, I have no problem, and I understand what you're talking about, the formatting, but the bill.
Right.
Stuff, so, yeah.
But it can be formatted. That doesn't stop anything. Alderwoman Evans?
Don't have any problems.
Alderman Grass?
no problems.
Okay, hearing no problems except formatting, I'd entertain a motion that we engross Board Bill 181.
I'll make a motion that we engross Board Bill 181.
Second.
Previous roll.
Had a motion and a second that Board Bill 181 be engrossed. We have a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 181 is engrossed. Okay. Let's see here. So we have everybody, Madam Clerk, we have everybody on the roll. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I have a problems with the minutes. I want to go over it again to make sure I'm correct. So we're going to do the minutes next time. Anybody have anything they would like to bring before the committee? I do want to say we did a good job because we did at least get a couple of schools off the chopping block. So that the conversation started right here. So good job, people. We're going to work on the rest of them.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes. Yes. Have to. Yes. And
Anything else?
Sure the work that you did also helped to spur it on, especially
teamwork. Teamwork.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a big team out there of people.
Yes.
Our schools are important to us. We got to act like they are. We got to stop just saying yes to everything.
And we still have to get those other schools that they still want to close, because we said it's not over till it's over.
Correct.
Well, we need to restrict more students. I mean, Fanning, that's located in my district, like, I don't want to see a school closed, but if there's only 110 kids there and the whole center of the building is not usable because it's collapsing and there's mold and there's water going through it, like, kids should not be going to school in that environment. And
I agree.
There's so much focus right now on like keeping schools open. I think we need to take a lot more responsibility as a board
absolutely
of we got there. And I hope that the calls to action that came out of the meeting last night, that we actually heed them and we do something about it, because we have a lot of culpability.
I agree. That's why I started reading the original lawsuit. So that's really important and I'm going to do a little, maybe a shortcut to reading it, because the original lawsuit started about the North St. Louis schools, because this was way before there was really integration and how they didn't get the proper education. They didn't have the books, but it also talked to the facilities and the upkeep. And this is so how you do stuff and you don't even know what you're doing, because you guys, Sterling and his parents all work for the school system. But in the early 80s, all I did was work on bond issues. And I did that for free. We would work on these bond issues. That was all part of the lawsuit, because not only were they supposed to be integrating, they were also supposed to be taking this money and fixing schools up, because they had done a lot of deferred maintenance, especially in the North St. Louis schools. I think one of the things people are not going to like is that, to me, we made a mistake with the desegregation of taking all our children out of the schools. Okay, that has not worked.
That was
that did not work. And then we allowed them to take the money with them. The public schools out in the county were also part of the lawsuit, because they were part of the segregation of the schools and discrimination against the students. So to me, we didn't have a good thing when we did this segregation, and we sent the people out to busing. But then we sent the money out there too, and that was a problem for me, because if you take the money away from the schools, you're really punishing the people who still are in the schools. So that was, reading back, and I know 2020 is hindsight, but that was not a good solution. If the county schools were also discriminating against these Black children, then to me, they should have had to take the children, but leave the money in the public schools where we can continue to improve the schools. And it's the same thing with the charter schools. We let them take all the money.
What they were doing, they were taking the kids, but the minute they act up, they suspended them, put them out, and they still kept the money.
Yes. And they also kept scholars, and they kept athletes. When I first met Sterling in the 70s and the 80s, you could not beat North St. Louis schools, not for athletes. So they kept the athletes some kind of way, and they kept the scholars. So to me, we shot ourselves in the foot from the very beginning. It has not been a good way to address the issues. And in fact, to me, it seems like we punished the very children that the original lawsuit was about, because every time you're closing a school in North St. Louis, you're going around what the original intent of the lawsuit was to make the schools in North St. Louis equal, which they proved. If you go through all these charts, they proved that the school boards just took the money and put them in South St. Louis schools. And what happened in the way they did it is they made white children run. They sent Black children someplace else, and we don't have enough kids in the schools, and we have not done the maintenance that we should have. But we got to look at it different ways, because I don't see any. It just hasn't worked. I'm sure there are a few people who benefited from busing, and there are some people who probably benefit from charter. But as a whole, it has crippled our school board more than it should have, and I think we got to look at a different agenda, and it starts right here with us in all of this tax abatement, and everybody saying, but I need it, and all of this TIF. And I love that the new member, Alderman Grass, is asking for more financial accountability on everything. That's what we need to do. And then we need to look at it. We don't just need to say, okay, yeah, we got it. Right. You have to make some hard votes sometimes. And you're not going to make everybody happy.
No, you're not.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
It's time for all of us to just stand up and say what's real. And in the past, we just kind of sit by and let the whole school district just take care of itself without any leadership from us. And even if it's just words and actions, feet on the ground, it'll be worth its weight in gold.
Yeah,
I agree. I totally agree. Anybody else got anything they want to say?
No,
Alderwoman Evans?
We can start by taking all the tax abatement off the informal calendar for this meeting coming up.
Well, I'll do that. I have no problem in doing that. I'll say that if you want me to Friday.
Go for it. I'll second.
I will.
It. Then we can just list these.
We don't even have to have a second. Any alderperson, just a minute, Jesse, I hear you. But any alderperson can take, all you got to do is say you object to, they cannot do a consent calendar. If one alderperson does not want a consent calendar, it has to go away because you have a right to have your vote recorded. So any person at any time can take it. And if we want to say we want all the tax abatement as a statement, not, then people can make an individual. We can make a statement to say, hey, we want you to look at this. Alderman Todd, I know you have some stuff.
Well, first of all, let me admit I'm the king of tax abatement. And I'm competing. Most of the South St. Louis don't get as much as I get on the south side of my ward because I don't have any places I can invest south of my ward for tax abatement. So I'm a tax abatement man and a TIF man. But let me say this: one problem with that is that some of those areas we need tax abatement because for whatever reason, and I know there were many reasons that those areas. When those buildings became vacant, we have to do something with those vacant buildings. We have to do something with those vacant lots because we're spending $15 million just to cut grass, foliage and shrubbery. So my point is, vacant lots, vacant buildings, it costs money to tear down vacant buildings, and plus you're talking about asbestos. So if we get tax abatements to, like I had a Todd plan, a chairwoman, Tyus, I talked with you before you got back on the board.
I have your Todd plan on my desk.
So you know what my plan is. It said we should fix up these buildings for the residents and so that we can give them tax abatements. But at the same time, it has gotten so far out of control that we're going to have to bring our city back first. Then after we stabilize our city and get all these houses on all the vacant lots or have them looking nice and greenery, then we can talk about, we can be very selective. But right now, it's still like in the ward I represent. I just got, I'm going to be honest, an $84 million project. And so I asked for a tax abatement because the other choice was to leave some vacant buildings there that the city was going to have to tear down. And these were big buildings. Usually it costs about $20,000 to tear down a building, but these buildings were going to cost, let's say, $50,000 each. And then they have asbestos. So what we're dealing with is so you tear the buildings down, you have a vacant lot which doesn't generate any taxes. So then with 5 buildings that I'm giving tax abatements to, then we have about $250,000 worth of demolition for the building, and then we don't get any taxes. So my question, the reality is it better to just get some taxes than to not get any? And the other thing is, I have a 60 apartment building that's going up, so people are going to be paying personal property taxes because most of them going to have cars. So
can I stop? I want to stop you for a minute. We're not saying you will still be able to vote on it. What the alderman is saying is just don't put it on a consent calendar. So when you take it off on the consent calendar, then people, just what you're doing now, can get up and justify why theirs is a good tax abatement. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody is saying we're not going to vote for it. I actually know that there are certain areas that need that. But we're saying we don't want everything on the consent calendar because things get by us that have no business being in there. So then we'll be looking at them individually, just what you're doing, versus just everybody puts their tax abatement and tips on the consent calendar, and then it's bundled and everybody votes at the same time. Do you understand the difference?
Oh, thank you very much. I didn't understand that. I agree. It should be, everybody should have to justify using taxpayers' money for anything, because I feel that we're just not feel we were elected as stewards of the taxpayers' money, and the only money I think we should spend for the taxpayers is money that benefit them. I don't think we should.
Okay, so
my position,
as a group, then we are going to. I will make the motion. I will tell the president. In fact, I'll tell him now that we want the tax abatements and tips taken off of the consent calendar so that we can have them on the regular calendar. I think that's a very good idea, Alderman from the 23rd. I'm going to make sure you get that credit for that. That's excellent. That shows that we care about the schools, and those people who have good tax abatements or tips are in parts of areas that need it, then they can get up and justify, and we can ask questions.
So Alderwoman Tyus, I was going to ask for a couple of things to be taken off of consent, but if you're going to ask for all of them, I won't do that. That's what?
Okay, yes, I will. I'll tell them now. You know, I'll let them know before they make that. We don't want them on there. And I'll send a letter over and say the committee is discussed and this is per what's going on with our schools. And so that just makes sense to me. Anybody opposed to that on this committee?
A question. Well,
yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. Will that affect my bill that I just had passed?
You could. No. So what I was saying, and you probably missed it, to take it off of the consent calendar doesn't mean it doesn't pass. It just means that when it comes up, just like you then will have to justify and tell people this is what my bill is about, and then people vote on it individually. Your bill in the bill shouldn't have much of a problem, any problem, because it actually is a place that's needed. But we have some, right, but we have some that's on there that just gets put in a big package that ought to have better scrutiny from the full board. And us putting all of those things on the consent calendar is really, if we're going to raise hell about the St. Louis Public Schools and closing it, then we got to show we're serious about doing something different.
Well, and the thing is, the tax abatement, Glenn, is for areas, not even maybe for your whole ward, but areas maybe within your ward that are depressed. I don't see, you know,
my whole ward is depressed.
I always have just gone along with, you know, on the consent, but I also know when we're doing that big thing for we did for the brewery, and when I said, well, Dan, I'm not doing them, he goes, well, you vote for them. I thought to myself, you know what? Okay, let's take them all off. And we talked about this before, take them all off. I'm willing to vote for them in areas that they should be. I don't know that the one on the hill where we're going to build $400,000 homes, but you know, I'm one vote. I'm just going to vote against all unless it's really in an area that, you know, that needs to.
I see your hand, Alderman from the 12th. I see it. Okay.
I'm sorry, and I spoke out of turn, so I'm just going to mute myself here.
Okay. Alderman Grass.
So, gosh, and this is also eye-opening. So we're talking about, you know, having discussion about each of them as they come up in the full board meetings, and I think that's awesome. But I also think it's like so many other things in this city that there needs to be a culture change just around tax abatements and tips. And why can't we look at the structure of tax abatements and tips and lessen the impact that it has on schools? Leave the rest of it sit there. Let's go tackle that. Let's go wherever we have to go change that. Let's go do that. And
I agree. We can
still move on with other aspects of what we're used to with tax abatements and tips. I think they're awesome if used in the right way. But I don't think everybody has to be punished. Let's just not punish the school district.
As I said, I don't disagree with you.
No.
I've been on the board 20 years, would have been 30, but I started 30 years ago. We've been talking about tax abatement and how we're going to do it different, but everybody thinks, oh, but me. And so, but when you look at where it's gone, it's been going to downtown in the central quarter, like 90% of it, okay? 85%. And so South St. Louis hasn't done a lot until recently. And North St. Louis, right. North St. Louis, up until, a few places downtown in the 5th and the 19th, but a lot of North St. Louis doesn't do a lot of tax abatement either. So it really has not been used where it really, because the whole thing is an incentive. And when you just blanketly give it to the people, at some point downtown, the central quarter, they're going to have to limp along on their own with their wealth, okay? And the people who really pay the taxes, they're taking the brunt of it because a lot of the 23rd Ward people don't get tax abatement. I don't do tax abatement very seldom. I've probably done in my 30 years, maybe 5 or 6 tax abatements. I fought it. I fought tips. The fact that I built a new school, I was so honored to build the first new school in North St. Louis in 30 years. I'm not going to then take the money away from it to keep it up. So we do want to encourage development, but a lot of times I don't think we're encouraging development. We're just giving developers a handout because they know we won't say no. And when we have said no, such as the soccer stadium, we said no to them, and then they came back with a much better deal, but only because we said no to them at first.
Davis.
Anything else? Anybody?
No questions, thank you.
Anything else? Anyone that wants to bring up?
I appreciate this. I appreciate the discussion.
Okay, this is a good place to do it. So again, I think we did good. Some schools got saved. The other ones we haven't given up on. Take that as encouraging. If we had not opened our mouth, probably all of them would have gotten closed. Yes, so, you got to do a pushback sometime. And I always say this. Look, the president says I brag on my committee all the time, but I think that I have an awesome committee, and I appreciate all that you all do and the questions that you do, and that we come and meet every week. So I thank you all. And if we have nothing else, I move that we adjourn.
Well, that's because we have an awesome chair.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in support? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I see you guys. And so I'm going to send a letter out that I'm going to send to you, to the president, saying we don't want them on the consent anymore. And also, as I get those attachments from Matt, I will send them to the committee. Okay. All right. Have a good day. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.